Hello, gorgeous goddesses. How are you today? It's day one of the Self-Doubt Slayer Challenge, and I am super pumped up today. I don't know if it's because it's Monday. I don't know if it's because this whole time that we've been in the last month has felt like major waves of up and down. But either way, we're here. We're going to get started. I'm going to actually make sure that this is in the group. And if you're not in the Soul Rebel Sisterhood group, the Facebook group, make sure that you do go in, because that's where we're going to be sharing one of the elements of surprise that I have for you as we go through this challenge. So yes, let me make sure that we can share. Let's see. Hang on. Sometimes I am technically uninclined. So there's always an element of challenge when it comes to technical difficulties. So let me go in here. We're sharing in the Soul Rebel Sisterhood. If you're joining live, let me know, because we are going to be doing some live work. So if you're live with me, let me know where you are coming from, where you are watching from, and we will get started with day one. All right, so we're there, we're in the group, we are live, we are here. Hello, Chastity. Awesome. All right, so let's jump right in. So if you signed up for this, then chances are you are a fierce, feminine, powerful goddess who is ready to go further than you've ever gone before. Now, here's the thing. We all have self-doubts. Like, it's a part of who we are. It's lifelong that we're gonna have doubts come up, and underneath those doubts are typically old stories and also fears, okay? So as we move through each day in this challenge, we're gonna be moving through a different doubt, a different type of doubt, and really looking at how it shows up for you in your life, especially if you are running your own soul-based business or wanting to, and you're not quite there yet, or you're wanting to go further than you've ever gone before and making more impact and income by being who you are and trusting your intuition. So that's a big piece of this. So for those of you who maybe are new to me, again, say hi if you're joining us live. If you're a newbie, let me know. Just say new here or rookie or whatever you want to say. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I know we have people from all over the world, so it's always fun to see where everybody's coming from. And that way I can also kind of send my energy to you in that space that you're in. So if you don't know who I am or you haven't followed me for a long time, my name is Lakshmi Dev Bowen. My spiritual name I took on in 2018, and Lakshmi Dev means the goddess of abundance and prosperity, and the Dev is in earth angel form, so spreading it to all of those on the earth. As I have moved into my soul calling, as I've really grown it in the past 5 years especially, one thing that always comes up for myself and for my clients are these limitations, right? And they come through mindset, and they come through not embodying that which you truly desire and deserve. And so one thing that I do as an expert is help to guide and support women in growing in ways that they've never grown before and going further than they've ever gone before in terms of connecting in with their soul guidance, personal development, so growing in who they are and who they're becoming, embodying that next level, and then also creating what calls to them at a soul level that's their passion and their purpose for being on this planet. So we're all here, I believe, on purpose and for our own purpose. And when we really tune into what we feel called at a soul level to create in our lives, there's a reason for it, right? It's given to you as a gift from your creator, and you are a co-creative genius. So when you really tune into your passion and your purpose, standing in your power, and spread that into the world, you're making a huge difference. And we need that more now than ever on this planet. So my past was a very, what I would call a dark past. I really went through a lot of childhood trauma that led me into really not liking myself, actually hating myself, having really serious self-esteem issues, poverty consciousness, lots of just not knowing who I was and feeling lost, and also feeling like I was not here on purpose. So I have used my journey the last 20 some years, it's been quite the journey, to really grow into this person that I am, so that I can really love myself fully, accept my journey and my past, and also use that to propel me forward. So that's what I love doing for women that I work with. So hello Christine, hello Jennifer, hello Patricia. Okay, so let's jump in. So here's what we're gonna do. And I love to do things a little different than anybody. That's one of my pieces, and that's something that we're gonna talk about today. Is I'm completely unconventional. The way that I teach is unconventional. The way that I show up maybe sometime unconventional. You can be spiritual and you can be all these other things at the same time, right? We are putting ourselves a lot of times in a box, but we do not need to fit into a box. And what happens is, as we go through our life, who we are and who we desire to be gets shut down by the outside world, by the voices in our head, by the questioning of ourselves, by generational things that are passed down into our DNA as well. So today the focus is really about you, right? It's about you being you and being unique to who you are and owning your personality, because your personality is given to you when you are put into this world on this planet on purpose. And so many times we believe that we are too much and that we are not enough, right? Those are the two stories that are typically going on in the background underneath our doubts and our fears around our personalities, that we're too much of this or we're not enough of that. And so then what do? We hide ourselves. We don't show up fully as ourselves. We compare ourselves. We shut ourselves down. We don't use our voices. We don't share our gifts. And that is doing a disservice on this planet, especially again, right now. Like literally we're in election week, and I can tell you that I'm feeling those energetic, ups and downs that everybody else is feeling. So it's even more important that you use your voice and your gift and who you are in the world to make a difference that's actually meant for you to make a difference in your life as well. So today we're going to focus on 5 different doubts throughout this process. So today is all about your personality, right? Really getting into why do you doubt that you're too much of this or not enough of that, and showing up as the true you that you are, without feeling judged, without feeling like you need to be somebody else or need to refine it or need to change it or need to fit it into a box, okay? So this, like I said, day 1, we're going through this personality. The second doubt that we're going to be focusing on through this process is your intuitive guidance. Now, this to me is, above and beyond everything else. If you really just tap into your intuitive guidance and trust it and believe it and know it, which sometimes we have a hard time doing that, especially if we're stuck in past doubts, fears, and judgments. When you come from your true intuitive soul, heart, whatever guidance you want to call it, you cannot go wrong. So we're going to be focusing on when you doubt your intuition, when you doubt yourself, your ideas, the way that you feel about things, and helping you to grow out of that one, okay? The other one that we're going to focus on is the physical appearance. This is a huge one for women, right? This whole I need to look a certain way, or I need to not have this problem with my body or with my face or with my style or with whatever. When we don't show up and we hide ourselves from the world based on an old societal BS idea of what we should look like, again, we're holding back from sharing our gifts with the world and giving permission and showing other women that it's okay to fully be who you are and to be this version of you that doesn't need to be fixed. You don't need to make up for anything, right? So we're really going to go deep into that one, especially if you've had issues like myself with body image. This is going to be a big one, and that'll be day 3. The next one we're going into, this other big doubt that we have, is our capabilities, right? Am I actually capable of creating what I desire most in my life? Am I capable of doing this work and making a change? Am I capable of all of these things? We put these ideas again in our head, and we sometimes forget what's possible. And the truth is, anything is possible. When you have your energy aligned and you are true to who you are and you show up as yourself, you can create anything you desire. It's about letting go of those old stories and those doubts that you're not capable or it's not possible, okay? And then the last one that we're going to be working on this week is through your the doubt of your value and your worthiness. This is huge, especially again for women. We tend to be everything to everyone, and then we also have a hard time sometimes receiving or allowing ourselves to fully own the value of what we bring to this world, own the value of our experiences, of our past, of our expertise, of that which we're doing as we go on our missions in our life and serve others, and the power and the value that it gives to them in their lives, okay? So if there's an issue, an underlying issue with self-worth and not valuing yourself and the gifts that you bring to the world, that's a big deal, because you're gonna then see that as it flows into your business and what you're creating, okay? So those are the 5. So today, here's what we're focusing on. I want you to think of, let's take a moment. I want to kind of tune in with some breath work. So like I said, if you know me, we tend to go into both spirit, mind, and body connection as I work with my clients. So I just want you to take a moment to let your shoulders soften, let your neck maybe roll a couple times, let go of that tension that comes between the mind and the body. So thinking of the head and the body, letting go of that tension in between there. So whatever that means for you. And I just want you to take your left hand onto your heart and your right hand onto your belly. And we're just gonna do some nice deep breathing to get into the body before you move through this process. So just letting yourself breathe in and breathe out. Tuning into whatever it is that you feel, whatever it is that you notice, the energy that you're carrying. Just letting these breaths bring you inward. Remembering that everything begins within. Doing 2 more nice full breaths here, letting yourself sink into connecting, remembering that the voice of the soul comes through the breath. 1 more breath here. And then when you feel ready, opening up your eyes. So remembering that when you give yourself time to tune in, and we'll do this every day in this challenge, taking time to tune in, we get out of the overthinking and in the questioning mode. And this is what this is really about, right? When you are in self-doubt mode, your mind is just coming up with all these stories and these worries and these concerns and these old thought patterns, and they don't serve you, right? They're literally taking away from your soul guidance and your heart guidance and your intuition. And then they put you in this place of paralyzation, right? You get paralyzed, you don't act out, you don't act on what you're inspired to act on. You don't share your voice, your message that you're meant to share. You hold back from showing up because you doubt and think that you don't look good enough, or whatever that story is. And what I want you to really think about is, as you move through these 5 days, letting each day feed your soul, right? This isn't about just like getting out of your head and changing your mindset. This is about feeding your soul so that your soul then can guide you into your next action. So when we take energetically aligned action, it leads to transformation. You do not transform by just thinking about it, right? You transform, you have these shifts in your life by taking action that is energetically aligned with that which you desire, okay? So that's kind of where we're going, is looking at what do you really desire? And I want you to think of this right now and maybe even journal it out. It's actually a great idea to have a journal every day. I should have mentioned that. We do lots of journaling when I'm working with my clients, because what comes through is the answers typically that you're looking for, especially when you go deeper and keep asking a little bit like, okay, but what else, and why, and why, and why, and why, and keep going under the ego mind into the soul guided voice that's within, okay? So what I want you to think about is, what is it that you feel like you are, that your old story, and this could be a really old one, it could be something new that's come up, but where in your life, and share in the comments if you feel comfortable sharing, do you feel that you are, if you feel that you're too much in terms of like, well, I'm too much because my personality is like so big and people just can't handle me. For me, one of my old stories was that I was too much in terms of my weirdness, right? I'm too weird, right? That is an old story that I held, and so I didn't allow myself to show up as myself and do my weird things and have my weird stuff that I loved and do my ceremonies and be completely out there. I felt like if I did that, that I was gonna push people away. And here's what we need to remember. whenever you push away who you are at the true level of who you are, you're actually pushing away those who are meant to be in your aligned divine space, okay? Whether that's relationships in terms of friendships, whether it's relationships in terms of clients, whether it's people that just are meant to be supporting you or guiding you on your journey. When you push away who you really are because you're trying to, again, fit into a box of some kind, you're pushing away what is truly, truly meant for you. And that just, it never works, right? You end up then coming back, okay? So what is something that you maybe feel you're too much of, right? I have friends that say, well, I'm just too much. Like my personality is too much for people. I'm just too much energy. I'm too loud. I'm too this. I'm too that. Other women, it's something around, I'm too quiet. I'm too shy to do these things in my life, or I'm too shy to make relationships. We all have these ideas of being too much of something, right? For me, it was I'm too weird. Like I'm way too out there to actually make relationships with people who matter to me and who I really want in my life. Turns out when I started showing up as my weird self and truly being me and owning my voice and being authentic, that's when I started having all these beautiful relationships in my life, and all those old relationships that weren't serving me just fell away. And it's really beautiful when that happens because you are giving yourself the gift of living in divine alignment, okay? So what is the story of too much? So I love that Chastity shared this because the old judgment, right? If you have somebody else telling you, right, that you're too much this or you're too that, look at if that's really in divine alignment with who you truly are, and maybe again it's time for that relationship to go. These aren't always easy things and easy lessons, but they're necessary if we're going to grow at the point that we want to grow into. The other piece is, where do you feel that you're not enough? Okay, so look at these, journal them out, share if you want to share, but let yourself go there. Let yourself look at these stories that have been created by possibly others, possibly come from voices inside of you that you're like, I don't even know why I feel like this, but for some reason, I believe that I'm too much of this or I'm not enough of that. There's also old patterns that can be ingrained in us by the way that we see others living. Like if you've seen your parents living a certain way, you create a story that they might not share with you, but that you then have created as your own, okay? So this is looking at those old things that show up now and that you still carry through life that are not even yours, right? It's like, take the damn backpack off, let it go, and then walk ahead, okay? So for me, my whole like not enough or not good enough, right? I'm not good enough. My voice isn't good enough to be able to speak. That was a huge one for me. I hated being in front of people speaking because I hated my voice. Now I've made it a true like piece of my life and purpose to share my voice with others, whether I like the sound of it or not, because I have something really important to say. So looking at these, where do you feel you're too much of this or not good enough or not enough of that? And how can you shift them? Okay, so it's really looking at getting to that peace, that place actually of acceptance, because from acceptance, you can then go up. And my voice is unique to me. My body is unique to me. My purpose is unique to me, right? What I'm meant to do in my past, even though it was so painful, is unique to me. So my being too weird, that's part of who I am, right? I knew when I was younger that I had gifts, that I was definitely different, okay? Like that was another old story. I'm too different, weird, different, whatever I wanted to call it. I'm too different to fit in. Well, guess what? That's a gift. So looking at these old stories, how you let them become these doubts so then you don't share who you are or put yourself out fully, and saying, you know what? Instead of looking at this as a negative, how can I see this as this is my gift of my uniqueness, right? I'm weird and I freaking own it, right? I don't love my voice, but I freaking own it, right? I don't necessarily feel good about my past. I've held a lot of shame around it, and now I freaking own it, right? So looking at this piece of you, your personality is put in you, right? It is part of you to be a reflection of your soul. Okay, so when you hide who you are and you don't allow yourself to be fully who you are authentically, you're literally taking away from living life, and that then takes away from creating what you most desire in your life, working with who you're meant to work with, and becoming that next version of yourself that you desire to become. Okay, so this is all I want to focus on today, is looking at those stories of yourself, your personality, where you feel you're too much or not enough, and dissecting them to say, what if, even though I feel I'm too weird, that my weirdness is actually my power, my gift, and a blessing? What if I think that my voice is not good enough, or whatever it is for you, and actually my voice is meant to be this voice and be shared with the world, and it's good enough as it is? Right? I'm not going to go and have like voice lessons and do like, I literally, when I was younger, thought about having my voice box. I don't know, I thought there was a surgery or something we could do and I could change my voice. And until I did that surgery, I wasn't going to like share any of myself with the world, because I wanted to fix my voice. Okay. So things like this, what if I fully accepted that I am this and that I am that, and it's not too much and it's not enough? Okay, so that's what I want you to focus on today. I really want you to think about celebrating you, right? We celebrate others and we celebrate life and we celebrate accomplishments and we celebrate our children and we celebrate birthdays and holidays and all these things. How can you celebrate you? And for Jennifer and Chastity, you're both on here. You are coming to Costa Rica. And that part of that the whole process that we do there is using the sacred practices and then celebrating yourself. And I want you to be in this space this week where, how can I celebrate that even though I thought I was to this, that this is who I am? And really let yourself own that, right? Own all of who you are, because you will then create what you desire in your life with those right people. And if people don't like you for who you are, that's up to them. It has nothing to do with you. You are going to be judged regardless of who you show up as and how you show up. So you might as well show up as yourself and be fully who you are, because those who then are attracted to your energy and your weirdness and your, issues with your voice and your insecurities are gonna be like, you know what? I feel you. Like, I've been there. I'm that way. Oh my gosh, I thought I was the only one that thought this or that felt that. No, we need to understand that we all have our inner battles and struggles we're going through, and let's celebrate who we are so that then we can create what we desire most in our lives from that energetic, authentic energy, okay, of your true self. So here's what I want you to, let me make sure I hit all these. Okay, here's another piece of this. You draw others to you by being you. Okay, so if you are not being yourself and you're trying to be somebody you're not, and you're trying to, again, fit into a mold, you're gonna draw those to you that actually aren't going to work out in your life or as a client, because they're attracted to the wrong energy. They're attracted to the energy of you being who you're not, okay? And you don't want that. I can tell you, as someone who's done this work, feels like forever. When I was constantly attracting women who didn't want to pay, who were energy sucking, right? It was just like, I need more time. I need more of your time. I need you to help me. I need you to help me. It's because I was like, well, you know what? I want to work with all women who have been through, hell and back, and that, no matter who they are and no matter what state they're in. And actually that's not true. I want to work with women, and I want to draw women to me that are like, I have been here long enough. I'm ready to go further. I will do what it takes in times of investing in my time, my money, my energy, my mindset, my energetic state, whatever that is, physically, emotionally, spiritually, to get to that next level. From then, I never had one single woman that was like, well, I don't want to pay to work with you, or I can't. I've had women that say I can't afford it, and that's a whole other mindset issue. We can talk about that another day when we go into value and worthiness. But I don't have these energy sucking people that are like so time consuming and so draining and stuck in victim mentality. But at the time when I was attracting that, it's because I still had a little bit of victimhood that I was holding on to. I still was allowing myself to show up for everyone at all times in all spaces, and that's not what I wanted, okay? So Jennifer, thank you for sharing this. Figure out who you really am, knowing attracting the wrong people into your life. This is all about that energetically aligned action. If you're taking action from a place of the doubts or the fears or the I just want to help everyone, or the even desperation, right? There's sometimes that desperation, like I just want things to work out, and it's like you're desperate for it. That's the energy you're going to create, and that's the energy that you're going to attract, right? You don't want desperate energy coming to you. And I can tell you this because this is exactly what I went through in the past. So this whole process that we're going through these 5 days is about getting into your authentic energetic alignment to take those actions that lead to transformation. And from there, creating what you desire. Because when you create it out of fear and out of doubt and out of desperation and out of whatever those other low vibrational energies are, that is what you receive. Okay, so we want to break that, and we want to give these old stories and these old doubts and these old fears and these old concerns that we need to fit into a box with a little bitch slap. Okay, and it's so funny because my daughter saw when I was creating this challenge, I had a board, a whiteboard, and it said self-doubt slayer, but there was like, the white was kind of rubbed off on pieces, and it looked like it said self-doubt slap. And I was like, she's like, what's a self-doubt slap? And I was like, what? And I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's like so genius for right now. So when you have these stories coming up this week, well, I'm too much of this, or I'm not enough of that, I just want you to think of shifting that immediately. It's like giving that old story, that little bitch slap, and then walking forward and saying, okay, what do I actually want to create? What is going to be energetically aligned with who I am becoming as I create what I most desire in my life, and step into that energy? Okay, so it's like an instant, like a switch, right? It's like sometimes we need somebody to just like not physically slap the crap out of us, but think of that, right? You have people in your life that you're like, man, I don't want you talking like this about yourself. I just want to slap the crap out of you and like make you wake up. That's what I think you need to be doing with yourself at the same time, is like, hey, wait. It's like we need to like shake it off, right? Like, okay, wait, where did that old story come from? That's right, it's old, it doesn't belong to me anymore. I'm giving it away. This is what I'm stepping into. And that's what I want you to do every single day this week. So here's your fun element of surprise for those of you who don't know anything about this challenge yet. Every single day of the challenge, you're gonna make a video. Now you can do a live stream if you feel, comfortable. You can go into the Soul Rebel Sisterhood group and do it live, or you can make a video and upload it. When you do this, you hashtag, and also for Instagram, if you're on Instagram and you wanna do this, because again, this is about showing up fully as you and allowing those to see you and love you and be attracted to you that you want in your life, okay? So you're gonna use the hashtag self-doubt slayer. Now hashtags, you can't have any dashes or anything. It has to all be one word, okay? So that's the hashtag, is self-doubt slayer. And today's video that you're gonna create is being you. Whether that's something that you're recording yourself dancing or sharing your voice, or something where you've told yourself that you're not enough or you're too much. Again, this is not about the physical appearance. We're gonna go into that in another day. But I want you to share yourself with us where in the past you felt like you were too weird, or it was too different, or it was too much, or you were too crazy, or your voice wasn't good enough, or the way that you move, your body isn't good enough, or the way that you share. It could even be a video of you sending out like an email to someone or a note to someone where you're sharing your true self with them, not afraid to share all of you, okay? So that means whether it's like for me, those who know me well know that I curse, I swear, that's part of who I am. I don't do that for some like wow factor. It's just a part of who I am. And so if I hold back in being that and sharing that way that I speak and teach, that's not being true to myself, okay? So this is your challenge and your prompt for today. I want you to share a video in the with the hashtag self-doubt slayer in the Soul Rebel Sisterhood of you being you in a way that makes you feel like, you know what, I have held back with this, or I felt weird about this, or I thought I was too much, or I was not enough because of this. And I'm sharing this because these actions that you take get you on the other side of the doubts and the fears. And that is what's so powerful, is you create clarity and you create confidence by taking action. The only way The only way out is through, right? The only way to the other side, it's not going to be to go around it, because it's like then you get haunted by these little ghosts that just keep following you. The only way to make it is to go through it, right? Get on the other side of it by going through it. Every time that you take an action that shows that you are enough and that you're not too much, you give yourself confidence, and that alone is priceless. So that is your prompt for today. Every day you're going to be doing a different video. Again, if you want to do it live, you can do it live. But I want us to be in the Soul Rebel Sisterhood, supporting each other and saying, go you. Yes, let's celebrate Jennifer. Let's celebrate Chastity. Let's celebrate whoever shares each video, and really own the fact that you are who you are, and that is unique to you, right? You are here on purpose, for your purpose, with your voice, with your stories, with your past, with your body, with your ideas, with your weirdness, with whatever it is that's you. And I want you to share a part of yourself today in the Soul Rebel Sisterhood. So look at your lists of where you thought you were too much or not enough, and go in and make your video. Yes, Jennifer, live, or you can do a video and upload it. If you're afraid of going live, some people are like, I just can't be live, like it super freaks me out. That's fine. You don't have to do it live, but I want to see a video of you being you, or sharing something about you that you felt that was too much in the past or not enough, and really own this, okay? This is where we step into our divine femme power, right? When we are in our divine femme power, we trust ourselves, we believe ourselves, and we know ourselves. And all of the prompts that we're going through this week are about believing and trusting and knowing yourself, so that you believe and trust and know your purpose, and you believe and trust and know that what you're creating as this amazing, powerful light warrior that you are is meant to be created, okay? So when you have those three pieces constantly leading you, and they're in an energetic alignment of belief, of trusting, and of knowing, then everything that you create is going to come from that higher vibrational space, and you're going to see your life unfolding in the way that you want it to, okay? So only one more piece for today. If you have questions, feel free to let me know. And this is the card that I drew for today. Hello, Ruth. Thank you for joining. It's the trust card. So I drew this earlier when I was tuning into our energy for today. It's weird, the lighting is super funky, but so it looks really bright, but this card is trust, and I want to read this message to you. This is really just, of course, so energetically aligned and synchronistic, because trust is such a huge piece of creating what we want in our lives as soul-based business owners who are meant to make an impact on this planet, and a positive impact in our own lives, okay? So trust is the desert vision. The desert seems parched and devoid of life, yet it is the desert that spiritual sojourners go to gain messages from the Creator. Traditionally, the desert is the place of spiritual cleansing, renewal, and profound healing visions. And as you, maybe some of you know or you don't, I live in the desert. So the desert is really special, and the word I use for it is majestic. Just as desert terrains can feed our souls, they also nourish lands thousands of miles away. For example, the Sahara Desert and the Amazon rainforest are a great distance from each other. One is a vast dry area of sand and scrub, while the other is moist, lush, and green, and yet they're connected. Annually, thousands of tons of nutrient-rich dust from the Sahara crosses continents in the upper atmosphere and deposits vital phosphorus and other minerals to the Amazon, which is needed for those exact nutrients. So the sacred landscape wants you to know, this is a powerful and important card to receive. Even when things seem parched or not fruitful, a deeper energy speaks of the power of your inner knowing. Meditate. Trust those nudges from the universe. Your celestial advisors are close now. You are now open to receive some of the most important messages of your life through your intuition. Your intuition is spot on, so trust it. Again, tomorrow we're going into intuitive guidance, so this is perfect for right now. Even if there are some areas of your life that seem lackluster, know that other areas are being fertilized for a resplendent future. Have faith and know that there is a higher purpose. So that's the message for today. Again, look at where you can really tune into this. I'm not too much of this. This is unique to me. I'm not enough in this way. This is unique to me. And trust, right? Really trust that is who you are, that's who you're meant to be, and that's who you are meant to share yourself as in the world, okay? So again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me privately. Soul Rebel Sisterhood, share your video or your live. of you being you, right? An old story of not enough, share something around that where you're showing up as yourself, or if you feel like you're too much, you could even do both. You could be like, you know what? I've always felt I was too weird, so this is me in my weirdness, and I've always felt like I wasn't enough in this way. This is me showing up as I am this way, all right? So let's have some fun with this. Let's celebrate each other, support each other. I am here for you, and I hope you have the most amazing day. I'll see you tomorrow at noon Mountain Standard Time, again for day 2 to go into your intuitive guidance so that you can believe and trust and know in that, all right? Remember, follow your soul to fulfillment and Satnam.